Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Time has a peculiar way of hiding its secrets, and among its best kept are the tales of gods of destruction from ages past. But now, the curtains of history are parting, revealing resurrected deities with unfinished tales. And as ancient forces reawaken, we're about to be thrusted into an adventure that intertwines past, present, and future in a dance of fate and power, as it looks like our unexpected and uninvited visitor isn't looking to only target Lord Beerus either.
The Universe 14 saga now opens up back on Beerus' planet following the events of the Granola arc, with Broly, Vegeta, and Goku being shown on Beerus' planet, as with Vegeta shown having to meditate in the background as Goku was shown having to address Broly was when Goku then went on to respond, and so that's why it's better for you to try and control your power before you find yourself transforming, Broly. And it's not because you're not ready or anything like that, but, well, Whis did have a point when he said that without the ability to control that freaky berserker power of yours, then, well, it could wind up not only destroying me and Vegeta as a result of it, but it could end up destroying you as well, to which, as Vegeta was then shown having to meditate and thinking about Black Frieza, was when Vegeta then went on to say to himself, and to think that after everything we've been through that I warned that idiot Kakarot that this would ultimately happen, but no matter what it takes, I'll make sure that Frieza is destroyed the next time we see him. And so I will not allow to have what happened on Granola's planet to happen to me like that again. Far from it, Vegeta continues. I will have my day against you, Frieza. Mark my words. As Lemmo then went on to address the others by then responding, and here we are, your lordship, fresh out of the oven and ready for your consumption, with Beerus then having to question, what an incredibly delicious feast, Lemmo. I was right to have decided for you to stay, and so what is this that you are bringing? With Lemmo responding, well, thank you, Lord Beerus, and what I have here is something that I believe will truly leave you speechless, for it's why it took a little while to make after all, but, well, this here are what the Earthlings refer to as stuffed tacos, Lord Beerus, with Beerus then having to respond, Whis, are you seeing this? And that delicious smell that's coming from them is almost infectious. And the sheer fact that you are this good while almost kept beneath Frieza's boot this entire time is an insult, Beerus continues. Oh, they all look so tasty. I call first dibs on all of them, Whis, and so you can go and have the second batch if I'm not already full from these myself. Well, that's not very fair, Lord Beerus, Whis responds, as Beerus then went on to continue, oh, fair schmear, you snooze, you lose, Whis. I said what I had to say, and so come to Papa. But then, it was only just as Beerus was shown having to reach on down before having to grab onto his plate, where from out of nowhere, another hand went on to grab onto the plate before Beerus, as this individual went on to respond, oh, how the eons since the days of our reign have allowed for you to grow into such a pushover, Beerus. You are almost unrecognizable. Perhaps Lord Rino was right about you, Beerus. You seem to have traded your title as deity in for a much more meaningless one, as it is clear to me now that you have become far too complacent in your role as a god of destruction here in this universe. But what say you, Merilith, with Angel Merilith responding, well, I actually second that, Lord Cobris, for I can start to see on why some of these universes, especially this one can have a lasting effect in allowing for Beerus to grow complacent throughout the generations. Oh, and hello there, Whis. It's been far too long now, hasn't it? With Whis responding, Sister Merilith and Universe 14's God of Destruction, Cobris? Well, I guess my eyes truly aren't playing tricks on me after all, with Cobris now being shown having to address Beerus by then responding, did you honestly think that Lord Rino was going to be the only God of Destruction whom was revived that will come and seek you out, Beerus? What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost, Destroyer. Or are you simply left speechless after seeing me? Because either way, you've had this coming for a very long time now, Destroyer. As even in my absence, I didn't forget about what you owed me, with Beerus then having to respond, Cobris? And just where in the world did you come from, and what do you think you're doing here in my universe? Whoa, is that another God of Destruction that's over there with Lord Beerus? Goku questions. He's huge, and he's just as mean looking as Lord Rino was when he first touched down onto this planet too. Don't try and change the conversation up, Beerus, because that won't work, especially not with me, and you know that it won't, Cobris responds. I came here to collect what I was owed, and I will not leave your world until I am given what I came here to collect, Cobris continues. And while you should also feel very lucky that Lord Cobris didn't decide to intervene when Lord Rino was calling you out, for we were there to watch your universe battle in secret, which was why Lord Cobris had decided to come see you now, Angel Merilith responds, with Beerus then having to quickly chime in. And just what exactly gives you or any of the other resurrected gods of destruction the right to just barge into my universe and onto my planet? This is the second time, with the first being Rino and now you. This isn't Universe 14, Cobris, so I won't warn you again. Now go and get out of my universe. I don't even know as to what the heck it is that you're even talking about, with Cobris then having to quickly chime in. Oh, so you've forgotten now, have you? And don't you dare raise your voice at me like that again if you know what's good for you, Destroyer. For you should know better than any other that I am not as patient as Lord Rino is, Beerus. And since you don't seem to recall, then allow for me to help you go back in time and remember. I once provided you with crucial information that turned the tides in your favor when the other gods of destruction were after you for nearly abandoning your game of hide and go seek with them. And of course, as a result, that very piece of information was what led you into winning the early rounds of your stupid little game right after you came begging for me to come help you, with Whis now being shown having to address his sister by then responding, very interesting. Tell me then, sister, is the Grand Minister aware of all 6 previously destroyed universes now being fully restored? I'm assuming that he would, since Angel Pinota had gone and asked to see if Lord Rino could be given permission to go and battle against Lord Beerus. Oh, the Grand Minister is very much well aware of everything, Whis, but your numbers appear to be a little off, Merilith responds. You see, after learning of all 6 universes being brought back into existence, the Omni Kings have instructed for there to be 2 new universes that have been created as a proxy, Universe 19 and Universe 20, but, well, more on that a little later on, to which as Cobris was now shown pointing down at Beerus was when Cobris then went on to continue, and if it wasn't for me giving you this vital piece of information that gave away the other destroyers' hiding locations, then you would have lost. And if you did, then the other gods would have taken liberties in beating you down for nearly getting them all in trouble, and so now it's time for you to pay up, Beerus. And unlike Lord Rino, I don't care enough to see which one of us is stronger, because you and I both know that I was always the stronger destroyer between us. And for the record, I never liked you, Beerus, and I only ever agreed to help give you this piece of information that I did because I wanted something in return out of you. And now that I've returned, it's time for you to pay your dues, Cobris continues. Unless, of course, you would want for the other destroyers to find out that you cheated, and so now it's time for you to give me something in return right now, with Beerus then responding, of all the possible things for a god to want to choose to remember, and of all the times that you could have decided to possibly choose from, you go and choose to come and do this here and now? That was a long time ago, Cobris, and I only asked for your aid because I saw that both Belmont and Champa were also doing the same thing, and so so I don't owe you anything as far as I'm concerned, Beerus continues. So this is not the time for you to come and start making demands, with Cobris then quickly responding, and that's where you're wrong, Destroyer, because I already am, and if I don't get something out of you while I'm here, then this is going to turn real ugly real fast for you, and you know it. To which, in the meantime, as soon as Broly's anger was now beginning to act up with Goku quickly coming in the way, was when Goku then went on to shout, "Whoa, whoa, take it easy there, Broly. I don't think that Destroyer is here to cause any trouble with any of us, but mainly address Lord Beerus. And so let's just try and calm down so that way we don't blow things out of proportion here and just wait and see what will happen between them." And what's that chatter that I hear coming from the distance? Cobris went on to then question. Mortal voices on sacred land? But of course. I never took you for one to play host to such feeble creatures, Beerus, but now I see. Have you become so bored with divine affairs that you've resorted to using mortals as your entertainment? Cobris went on to then question. And so why am I not surprised by this? It's perplexing yet mildly interesting to see how you choose to surround yourself with such beings rather than your own kind, but maybe that's because deep down you know what you have coming to you for a long time now, Beerus. But I do, however, reckon to have seen that smaller one over there somewhere before. Let's find out. To which, as Cobris was then shown approaching both Broly and Goku, was when Cobris then went on to continue. And what do we happen to have over here? I sense a duality of Saiyan power that stands before me. One which appears to echo a symphony of chaos, while the other exudes a refined melody of both skill and combat experience. Interesting. Very rarely do mortals emanate such potent auras, but I stand before the two of you now as your superior, Cobris then aggressively continues. For I am Lord Cobris, also known as King Cobris, god of destruction of the mighty 14th universe. And now that I am able to remember exactly who you are, Cobris went on to address Goku by then continuing, you're that Saiyan warrior who was shown engaging against and beating Lord Rino in battle now, weren't you? The mortal whom bears the divine power that goes beyond the gods. Goku, wasn't it? Yes, I remember you very well, Saiyan, but you are of no threat to me. But you, on the other hand, Cobris went on to then address Broly, you, however, I do not remember seeing before, and on the surface, you don't appear to be very impressive, but I can sense a great fire that's burning from deep within you that I find rather very fascinating indeed. But do not get the wrong idea here, mortal, for you are both still by proxy far beneath what I am standing before you now, so don't get the wrong idea here, especially you and that temper of yours, Cobris continues. Oh damn that Cobris. And just what does he think gives him the right to just touch on down onto my world and just do whatever he just so happens to please? Well, calm down there, Lord Beerus, Angel Merilith responds. Lord Cobris isn't going to hurt any of your mortal guests while he's here. Well, unless of course he chooses to anyway, as Cobris then went on to continue. I am interested to know on why you mortals are allowed to dwell on this world, and so I want answers, and I want them all right now. Is that Beerus training you Saiyans on this world? And more importantly, why you? Why Saiyans of all races in the universe to go and choose from? It would be wise for you mortals to speak and tell me now before I... Now hold on there for just a moment. There is a third mortal on this world, Cobris then went on to then quickly notice, and this one appears to look like a Saiyan as well, just like the two of you, except I sense something a little different that's coming from this one. Something far darker than either of these two here. Well, so maybe Beerus might actually have something that's worth coming here after all then. Perfect. to where within that very moment as Cobris was then shown pushing both Broly and Goku away, it was when Goku then went on to chime in, hey, oh wait, he's talking about Vegeta, Broly. Lord Cobris, sir? I don't think that it's a good idea to go and disturb Vegeta while he's— You hold your tongue when speaking to me, mortal, and if you dare to choose to address me like that again, then I will destroy you where you stand. You two are of no interest to me, now move. And then there's you, and from what I can tell, Cobris went on to address Vegeta by then responding, you indeed appear to be just like the other two, and your indifference is quite intriguing to me, since the aura that I can sense coming from within your inner spirit is much darker in nature. Vegeta, was it? Yes, I can sense a great focus from within you, Saiyan, and your audacity in ignoring my presence speaks volumes of your character, mortal. Your aura is not one that can easily be missed, but I demand for you to rise and acknowledge my presence as your superior, with Vegeta then being shown responding, I don't care enough to know about who you are other than having to overhear of the score that you wish to settle with Lord Beerus. Your business is not with me, and so therefore I owe you nothing. Now go on and about your business, for you are disturbing my training along with my concentration, with Cobras then being shown responding, oh, am I now? Is that so, Saiyan? Very interesting choice of words, with Beerus then being shown having to address Cobras' angel by then responding, this is not a game that I am in any sort of mood to be playing with Cobras here, Angel, and so now go and take your god of destruction and leave my universe at once. Me and Cobras have nothing to resolve, with Angel Merilith responding, well, I think Lord Cobras begs to differ, god of destruction, so we aren't leaving until Lord Cobras says so. It's rare for a Saiyan to ever be shown addressing a god of destruction with such a disrespectful tone, Saiyan, as I can't tell you on the last time I ever had a mortal even dare go as far as to speak to me in such a way, but then again, that mortal is no longer alive to tell the tale of doing so, Cobras continues, and so now I wonder, is it arrogance that blinds you from death, or is your resolve that great that you no longer have to come to fear the very nature of a god of destruction, as beyond your pride and regal stature lies a mortal with a limited understanding as to what a destroyer god truly is, Cobras continues, and so now I wonder if I should be the one to acknowledge your unwavering bravery towards me, or if I'm simply wasting my time by looking a little too deeply into something that clearly doesn't exist. Which moment after being shown circling around Vegeta before then being shown having to smack Vegeta with his tail was when Cobras then went on to continue, and so one way or another you will grow to quickly understand that I am nothing like your destroyer Beerus, and so by the time you wake back up and address me, I expect for you to kneel before me unless you wish to be destroyed, Saiyan. Now let this serve as a reminder for you while I go and take care of my business with Beerus, and don't ever test my patience like that ever again, Saiyan. I'm disappointed in you, Beerus. These mortals that you happen to harbor on this planet of yours are almost as pathetic as you are, and so now I will not go and ask you again. An offering now, Beerus. Either you will pay what is owed, or we will fight right here, right now, with Beerus then being shown responding, I already told you, Destroyer, there is nothing that I owe you for simply pointing out the whereabouts of the other gods of destruction during our game, and if you just so happen to choose to want to fight me on this planet, then you will what, Beerus? Whoa, that was quite the shot that he just landed on you there, Vegeta. Are you okay? What just happened? Goku went on to then question, with Vegeta then being shown responding, oh, that does it. Now step aside and get out of my way, Kakarot. You'll go and do what, Beerus? Go ahead and humor me with your empty threats like how you used to try and do so before, Cobris continues. You are nothing like you once were, and you should know that unlike Lord Rino, I was actually able to get a bit of training in with my angel before coming onto your world, and so now choose wisely. So what is it that you want to go and do? But then, it was only from out of nowhere, before Cobris even had the opportunity to go as far as to finish his sentence, was when from out of nowhere, that was when Vegeta was from that point then shown having to get involved, as Vegeta then went on to respond, oh, now you've done it. God of destruction from another universe or not, you made a very big mistake for doing what you just did back there, you fool. And so you wanted for me to acknowledge you, didn't you? Well, here you go then, Destroyer. I hereby acknowledge you for even daring to think that I'd go and let that slide. In which within that moment, as Vegeta was shown having to throw Cobris across the field by having to drag him by his tail, was when Goku then went on to shout, "Whoa, hey, what are you doing, Vegeta? Are you crazy? The last thing that we need is for another fight to take place involving another one of these newly resurrected gods of destruction. Just take it easy," with Whis responding, "Oh dear. Well, this certainly isn't going to be good now," with Vegeta then having to address Cobras by then responding, "Now you listen here and you listen up good, Destroyer. Whether you're a newly revived deity from a bygone era or not, I will not stand to have anyone go and try and make a fool out of me by striking me the way you did. And if you think that we here are just your average mortals, then you are sadly mistaken, because that couldn't be further from the truth. So if you want to go and lay your hands on me, then expect for me to do the same to you in return, Destroyer." "My oh my, Whis," Angel Merlith responds. "Well, I do sure hope that you know what this means for your mortal visitor over there, don't you? And as you and I both know that this isn't going to be pretty, but with all of the formalities aside, we'll go and chit-chat later while I go and try and reason with Lord Cobris before he goes and tries to destroy this entire universe," with Cobris then having to respond, "Insolent Saiyan, do you understand the gravity of your actions, mortal? To lay your hands on me the way you did is to declare war against a god of destruction. And because of your arrogance, I will make sure that you pay the ultimate price for your transgressions, Vegeta. Here and now," with Vegeta then responding, "Fine by me then, so let's do this. You Destroyers don't scare me, especially those who weren't around long enough to see how much we mortals have evolved. So if Kakarot can find himself engaging against a resurrected god, then so can I." But it was only just before Vegeta's initial engagement with Cobris where Angel Merlith went on to lean on down by whispering to Cobris, "Actually, Lord Cobris, I have a better idea that I believe that you'd be very interested in having to overhear. So how about this instead? How's about instead of destroying the Saiyan, we instead use him as a way to have Lord Beerus pay you back for what he already owes you, my lord. And if something is proven to be rather useful, then why get rid of it when it can be simply used until it's no longer useful instead, get it? And if you can get something out of it, then why waste the opportunity, am I right?" with Cobras responding, "Yes, of course. Now I see, then we'll do it. Alright, mortals, since you appear to be feeling a tad bit overzealous about your position," Cobras responds, "then I welcome you to go and engage me at once. And with what I was able to sense coming from deep within your soul, I'd say that you'd be the perfect warm-up for me, and by laying your hands on a destroyer the way you did, has only now awakened a fury that will consume your entire world, mortal," as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of the Resurrected Fallen Gods of Destruction, the Universe 14 Saga Manga Chapter number 1 special then comes to a close. Now, first things first, before anything else, yes, this saga is going to be directly taking place after the events of Rino, as we now begin to shift gears in moving on over from the Universe 13 arc into now going into the Universe 14 arc, as already there seems to be bad blood on Beerus' planet involving yet another god of destruction and once again another one of Beerus' mortals, except this time, instead of having to see Goku this time be put up and dealing with the overall situation, we now begin to shift gears and moving on over and handing the spotlight over to Vegeta, to where you do not want to miss out on what is about to transpire taking place next involving Vegeta and Cobris, to which all of this and so much more, including the upcoming manga chapters, will be made available right now on my Patreon for those of you out there that are members to see. So if you would not only want to support the content that you see on this channel, but also gain access to additional content and my soundtracks, RPNGs, and so much more, then I do encourage for you guys to become a member of my Patreon today, patreon.com/UnrealEntGaming, to where I will go on ahead and leave that link located down in the description box below and pinned comment section below as well, to where not for nothing all of this is simply going to be the tip of the iceberg to all of the other things that I have coming your way very, very soon. So you do not want to miss out on what is about to transpire coming up next, to which again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, everybody. As always, thank you all so much for your time, in which once more, if you also just so happen to be new to the channel and of course love Dragon Ball and anime, then I do encourage for you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button, on top of making sure to give this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more. Thank you all so much for your time, support, and patience. And with all that being said, I will be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, guys, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.